man, I just need some liquidity. You know what I'm saying?
GM, and welcome back to the channel. Has Brian, the big bald head here, saved the crypto industry and given us a brand new bull market? Well, let's discuss this in today's video. If you're brand new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop me a GM in the comments down below. I hear it's good luck and will mean you don't get rugged on Base Chain. Let's go. So the launch of Base Chain and the fact that developers can now deploy contracts onto it, we've seen a huge explosion over this weekend. So what is happening over there? What has happened in DeFi? Let's jump into all these different things. So a lot of questions people have been asking. When will the bridge become two-way? Because at this moment in time, you can bridge your ETH, and ETH only, by the way, no other tokens. You can bridge your ETH into the Base Chain and play on here and get involved with the degen activities. But from what I've seen, the actual opening of the chain here, as per Cointelegraph, it says Base announced that the public launch of the network will occur in August. That will be from tomorrow, potentially, but I'm seeing the date the 9th of August banded around Twitter. Can't confirm that, but that is potentially the date that the two-way bridge will then open, so you can get your ETH back out. But as we say, currently you can only bridge in. So a bit of Hotel California on the Base Chain. Now, in terms of saving the crypto markets and ending the DeFi bear market, well, that is the potential scope of this Base launch. The fact that millions of normies can get involved with an L2 and start playing on loads of different DeFi dApps. So it has a lot of people very bullish, and I, for one, am also very bullish on this. And if you're watching this video, you're participating right now, we are early because the floodgates have not opened to the masses as yet. Now, a quick DeFi update. If you want to skip this one, make sure you use the timestamps down below. So Hentai Avenger called this back in November of 2020. He said we're 3 months into a 36-month long DeFi bear market. But this 36th month is now this month, July, and the end of July is today. Thus, the DeFi bear market should be ending today. And so people are getting bullish for DeFi. But what would be more poetic than a major DeFi hack occurring on the day before the DeFi bear market ends? And that is exactly what we had yesterday with Curve Finance. So Curve is lauded as one of the real pillars of DeFi and a DeFi 1.0 stalwart, and somewhere that people feel very safe utilizing it and doing huge transactions through. But this was a bit of a scary one that broke yesterday and would have seen us plunge back into a DeFi bear market if it wasn't for some swift actions by the team and by some white hats in the crypto industry. So it says this: as a result of an issue in Viper compiler inversions, the following pools were hacked. Curve ETH pool hacked, AL ETH to ETH pool hacked, MS ETH to ETH pool hacked, and P ETH to ETH pool also hacked. The auditors couldn't find this on first inspection, but it says now that they have not been able to find a profitable exploit. So potentially these contracts are still exploitable, but funds have been removed from these various pools. So this is pretty damn crazy because everyone sees Curve pools as kind of the gold standard. So yesterday the news broke, 32 mil Curve being taken out of the pool. And as Andrew T from Blockworks started to write out here on Twitter, it looks like Michael, who is the CEO of Curve, was having to pay down some huge amounts of debt. Remember, this guy has a huge Curve position opened over on Aave, so he has a huge amount of the supply. He's parked it on Aave and taken stable coins against it, and it looks like he was in danger of being liquidated yesterday, so he was scrambling to repay debt as quickly as possible because the hacker had so many Curve tokens and they started just dumping them, giga dumping them on the markets. They could have liquidated him, and this would have had huge consequences across DeFi and would have left Aave with bad debt. So this really was a shit me up moment yesterday, and I was a little bit scared last night as this was breaking. So we can see some of the exploit transactions here. 14.3 mil of ETH exploited, $4.4 million of Curve here in this transaction. White hats did get involved and started to front run some of the transactions from this nefarious character, but as they started to take all this Curve, they started to dump them on the market. This is Michael's wallet wallet here. He managed to get his health factor up on Aave. And as Andrew reports here, it looks like he repaid on Abracadabra and some Frax Lens stuff as well. He says, I think we're out of the woods, catastrophic liquidation bros. So we really did actually dodge a major bullet yesterday. And then this person here, hats off to coffeebabe.eth, front running the actual hacker. So a very scary moment for the DeFi ecosystem, but you can see the curve price on centralized exchanges didn't really go below 60 cents, which is pretty crazy. And this from Chainlink God, if we look at the on-chain price of Curve here, it went under a penny, 0.002 cents per Curve token. So he says this, had Aave V2 and other DeFi lending protocols used the now drained Curve to ETH Curve pool as the on-chain oracle, they would have got completely wrecked with bad debt. Very scary to think about, a big gulp and inhale of breath by many, but it does seem we dodged a major bullet just yesterday, and I think we can thank our lucky stars. Let's move on to more brighter pastures here with Base. So full video guide on how to bridge to Base and perform some swaps. I did this yesterday, some major upticks in viewership and some subscribers. So shout out to everyone who has started to subscribe here. A very easy video, just 5 minutes in duration. Check it out on my channel if you don't know what the heck to do to get onto Base. And an update as well, in terms of the RPCs, they were crashing yesterday. So this means you couldn't transact on the likes of LeetSwap and other things. The network was essentially too congested and started to crash. There was only 2 RPCs, I think, available, but this is a third one here, the RPC endpoint here. I'll leave this in the description down below. This one has been working a lot better than the others, so have this saved as a backup, guys. Now, in terms of the numbers here, how much ETH has gone from, say, mainnet over to the Base chain? Well, this is the contract here. So 35,600 Ether have made their way over. Notional value $66 million. Yesterday, when filming that original video, it was around 12,000. So as you can see, that's pretty much a 3x in just over 24 hours, which is pretty damn crazy here. So loads of funds have been aped in, and you can see the idiots who did not listen to the warning signs of only send ETH. I think these USDC, USDT, Metis tokens and other things may well be lost here. So what we have here is the Base chain getting a huge lease of life with $65 million deployed, over 2.2 million transactions. This is not bearish stat whatsoever. You can see people were keen to get involved here. And all of those funds are stuck on this chain and essentially will just be sloshing around from protocol to protocol. So this is why it's very beneficial to have your ear to the ground right now and getting involved with some of these new launches. I have unfortunately been rugged 3 times already on this chain. So this is definitely not a zero risk strategy, but trying to get involved with some of these new protocols as they're launching and trying to get a feel for this market is definitely a good thing, because there's 60 odd million bucks circulating on there and the degens want to pump it into something. Of course, not financial advice, do your own research and all that good stuff. So TVL on this chain is up only. The number 1 DEX here is LeetSwap. You can stake your Leet for XLeet, and the APR here is around 2,000% or so it says on here. Well worth doing for a low risk play, I believe, on here. There is also a Leet token over on Canto trading at a massive discount because it's like 30 bucks over here on Base and like under $1 on Canto. So some people have been buying it up on Canto. So when the two-way bridge is live, I would expect people to start bridging their Leet in and dumping this price down, and we'll get some parity between the two. So do be aware of that. There will be some risks with this when the bridge opens up. But what's very interesting here is this. What we've started to see is some alpha in the markets. So these are tokens that I found early this morning, and I've labeled this portfolio page on CoinGecko as Base Jumpers. These are protocols that are confirmed to be deploying to Base. Inverse Finance, a CDP stablecoin, Son Finance, Moonwell, and Extra Finance. And as you can see from Moonwell here, a huge rip, 79% overnight here. So these have not yet deployed, but they're going to deploy on Base. So you can see how market participants are starting to think, and they're aping these before they do deploy to Base, and all those new users on that chain can buy into these tokens, and some very low market caps. So this is something to be aware of. Son Finance, decentralized non-custodial liquidity market protocol on Optimism, bridging over to Base, as you can see from this 2 and 4 with Aerodrome. We have Son Finance here over the last 14 days, looking very bullish there as people are aping in. I would ideally want to find things that people have not yet aped, but the protocols have confirmed they are going to be migrating to the Base chain, and there could be some big gains to be made from that. We also have Moonwell moving from Moonbeam now over to Base. as the build on Base mainnet launches approach, are changes in the air. These guys are coming to build on top of Base. They want that liquidity. Makes a lot of sense. Token up 80%. Let's just jump into the chart here over the last 14 days. Early finders being rewarded yet again. You can see the alpha that is available on this with any new launch. But the big one here, and one I do want to ape into with some size, once this goes live, is Aerodrome. So Velodrome is on Optimism. Aerodrome will kind of be the sister project here on the Base chain, the central liquidity and trading marketplace for build on Base. And this is an established team, so I do believe they can attract a huge amount of TVL. And as they have already got some lindiness behind them, I think this can do very well. So this is the Aero token. It is not yet out, but lots of hints that this one is coming very shortly. So do be aware of that one. I think this one is a good one to get involved with. And what they're doing is they're airdropping any VE Velo holders 40% of the initial supply of VE Aero, proportional to your VE Velo locked stake. If you did want to ape in and get some VE Velo, that means you're entering a vote escrow position with a long-term lock potentially. There's a lot of considerations around that. I would jump into their Discord just to double check that the snapshot has not yet been taken, but I believe it is not yet taken, so there could be some additional alpha here. And even as a trade, Velo likely to continue to pump. And last but not least, CoinGecko have released this, the top Base ecosystem coins by market cap, and they've only got 4 listings launched on here as of yet. So in my mind, this should mean that these ones should be somewhat decent projects, ones that potentially shouldn't really be rug pulls if CoinGecko have done some good research. And the fact that these guys have got listed over the others gives them a green tick in my book, at least. We have LeetSwap, the major DEX on that chain. We have Bold, which was the first mover and the one that's run up to a huge total 99 mil in 24-hour volume. The current market cap on this is around $55 million. That will be, you can see from the price chart here, it looks like it wants to take a bit of a next leg up potentially. I'm not quite sure. Then we have Toshi down here, which is a cat-based meme coin. And the one that I've aped into today is called Base Tools. So like we had Unibot over on mainnet, it seems that Base Tools wants to do the similar thing here on the Base chain. FDV 756k apparently. I think is now closer to $1 million, to be honest with you. That might be lagging data, but these guys are bringing out a load of tools, and the fact they got listed straight away on CoinGecko gives me a good feeling about this one. Obviously not financial advice or anything like that. This is a lot of gambling going on this Base chain, but they say day one recap, 1,000 members of a Discord, etc, etc. But up next, the alpha sniper bot will be released. Apparently, looking into the Telegram, that could be released as soon as tomorrow. So that will be a cool first mover advantage in the main meta that the market has experienced over the last week, but now on the new meta of Base chain. So if you do ape into any of these coins, make sure you get the contract addresses and stuff from CoinGecko directly, because they will have been thoroughly checked over. I've seen a lot of people losing money to rug pulls, just basic copies of other tickers, people aping into the wrong contract, and then their money getting stuck. So do be aware of that and be as safe as you possibly can on this new chain, as there is a lot of shenanigans going on. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, show your appreciation, drop me a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, it's good for your dopamine, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one. Peace.